Tonight we are on a random island that I totally didn't fly to because I would spawn on the mainland. The first thing I did was get some thatch for the tools I would need, like a pickaxe and a hatchet, and maybe some few spears if I'm feeling adventurous. Next, I wanted to explore the island just so I can get like the lay of the land on what I was dealing with, so I could figure out the builds. And before I killed anything, I wanted to at least get 2 dodos to tame so I wouldn't be left with no food at all. So I found one, knocked him out, and then found another and knocked him out. Got him tamed up, and then while they were taming, I went and slaughtered every other dodo, which might be smart or it could have been stupid, but who knows. I looked around the island for a bit so I could figure out where I was going to build my house, and once I figured it out, I started to get the materials I would need to place the foundations and walls and all that. The house wasn't too fancy, it was just pretty basic. I just built what I was feeling, and I mean, I was happy with it. It was a cool house. It wasn't too big, just enough for me. But once I got the outside complete, it was just like a big empty fucking rectangle. So I needed me a bedroom. I needed some privacy. So I crafted a little 2x1 room, just enough for a bed and some storage chest and enough to do my personal deeds. And when I finally finished all that, I placed a forge and a smithy table. And when I went to go craft a metal pickaxe, I realized I had no leather to my name. So I went to my dodos that I just left stranded on the beach, and I was going to make them a breeding house so I could harvest all their goods. Once the structure was up, I placed some standing torches just so I could hatch the eggs because it was too cold where I was and they wouldn't hatch. But they eventually hatched and I got twins, so I let them grow up, and while I waited for them to grow up, I decided to make a farm so I could get the advanced crops. For some reason, I don't know why I didn't use them at all, but it was a crucial part of my island for some reason. So yeah, I'm not going to show it because it's boring, but here it is. Once it was finished, for the life of me, I could not get all 4 advanced crops, so I just placed the 1 advanced I got and just some like narco berries, mayo berries, and other random berries I could get. But I didn't have any fertilizer, so the farm was pretty much useless for now, but who cares. Now, there was a cave in my island, and I wanted to do something with it because every island man needs a cool lair for his schemes and other stuff. I don't know, but I just wanted a lair. Every guy wants a lair. After the gate was placed, I was pretty happy with it because it didn't show anywhere, and I'm not going to show you any of the build because I want to do an MTV lair tour. So here we go. As you walk in, you can see the 3 cages I got for my 3 future prisoners. Once I find them. I have a training dummy so I can show off my sick moves in case the prisoners want to try to revolt against me. And I have a kitchen table where I eat my depression away with my cool friend, the beach volleyball. Wilson, I think. Never seen the movie, but I know his name's Wilson. I was building that lair for a while, and I haven't checked on my dodos, and they have been getting busy. I have a shit ton of eggs that need to be hatched, or else they're just going to sit in my inventory and expire and go bad. So I placed them all down and hatched a whole zoo of dodos. And they hatched all at once, and it was way too much for a single father to take care of, so I neglected them and went to go build something cool because that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to build a watchtower, just in case the neighboring mainland people decide to send a boat over and try to invade my island, even though I'm the only one on this server. You gotta see the idea. You gotta imagine it. When I was building the tower, I ran out of trees to chop, and that slowed my production very bad. So I had to pick up the sticks around the island. But after some time, I did get it all constructed, and it was pretty high. I could see quite a bit, and if people were on the beach, I could fucking spear their ass. I could throw spears down on them. I made a table and some mortar and pestles because I wanted to tame the Oviraptor that was living on my island for free. So I bullied him and knocked him out real quick. But when I knocked him out, I gave him Mayho berries because I never tamed one of these guys, and he would not eat it. He also would not eat the meat, and then I looked it up, and he needed eggs. Why he wanted to eat eggs? Who knows? So I went to my 4 million dodos and got some eggs. But once I finally had enough, he woke up, so I had to retame him again. And this time I was ready. I was prepared. So I knocked him out and gave him the eggs, and he was tamed up pretty quick. And I named him King Ovi because I could not think of a name for him. And what's a king without his own little throne room? It's more like a stables, but he's an animal. He doesn't get a fancy house. So I made him a quick little stable, pretty simple. Not going to show it, pretty boring. But after that, I put him in there and didn't do much with him after. He just kind of sat there. The next thing I wanted to build was a fishing dock. I don't know why I'm doing so much building. I do other things, like you'll just see what I do, but I don't know. I just built a lot in the beginning. I guess I had a bunch of ideas, but here's a random fishing dock I built. But it looks cool, so it's all that matters. I was getting a very bad idea that none of my trees were respawning on my island, and I waited, and yeah, nothing respawned. So I went back to picking up sticks, and I made a raft because I was going to go to the mainland because I was not going to pick up sticks the rest of my life. Y'all might say this is cheating, but I disagree because Ark is bugged and nothing respawned on my island. So I just went there, chopped down trees, and went back. Nothing else. I didn't do anything else. Y'all can take my word. But when I did come back, I saw a tree laying on the beach, and it was a sight. I was so happy. It wasn't a live tree, but it was a tree. And with that, I built a boating dock so I could park my boat like SpongeBob. Even though SpongeBob doesn't have a boat, he never got his license, but I built a boating dock.
He's in the wall. He's in the goddamn wall!
I went to go look at my secret lair, and my cages were still empty, so this was the perfect idea to go capture me some prisoners from the mainland. It's not going to be any dino, it's going to be one of the most annoying dinos in Ark, so don't feel bad for them. They just attack anything, they're little varmin. And what I tell you, the first one I found was picking on a random parasaur and a dodo. So I knocked him out, and when he woke up, I gave him a inmate number and went searching for my second prisoner that I was going to capture.
Hey, it's me, Goku!
And when I found him, I did the same thing, knocked him out, waited for him to tame, and gave him a inmate number. Once I had both of them, I returned them to my raft because they were getting annoying. And I went to go search for my final prisoner. This one has to be special. And I found the perfect candidate. He might be small, but he is the most dangerous prisoner I have. But he wouldn't fit on the boat, so I had to make a makeshift trap for him so he could stay and not fall off. Yeah, and it worked pretty good. I got him back to my island. But when me and my prisoners returned back to my island, I noticed some few things. There were new dinos walking. They must have swam while I was away and just ambushed my island trying to take it over. Hey, if you like this video, then you should definitely subscribe. And I got targeted by one of the Dillos. I almost got whooped because I haven't put any of my stats into health or melee damage because there is not a single threat on this island. And by the hair of my chinny chin chin, I was able to just barely beat this guy. And when the coast was clear, I took my 2 Dillos into the lair and put them in their cages so they could never leave. But the 3rd prisoner, the compy, I lost him. He was too small. He went somewhere in the bushes and I never saw him again. There was one more Dillo on my island and I didn't like him being on there, so I took my crossbow, or nope, not my crossbow, my arrow, and I started laying fire into him because I was the only guy on this island that could live on here. I don't know what I'm saying, but I killed him. And there was another Oviraptor, and it was a female, so Mr. King could, or King Ovi he could have him a lady, if you know what I mean. So I knocked her out with almost all my trank arrows and gave her all the eggs I had, but apparently that was not enough for her, and that should show you one thing. Women they need a lot more than men, because I did not have enough to please her, and she did not tame, so I just left her there and just let her go. Now, I wanted to build another tower for some reason on the other side of the island, and I'm not going to show you it because it is almost the exact same as the other one, except the lower ring. Now, I don't know which looks better. You can let me know in the comments. Now, there's a turtle swimming around my base that I noticed a few times, and I had something very special planned for him. So I crafted a bunch of narcotics, made him into trank arrows, and started to knock him out. And once he was knocked out, I harvested. I harvested a lot until he woke up. And once he did wake up, I named him the White Hawk. And if you know what that means, let me know, because I'm not telling y'all. Now, I wanted to put this turtle on a pyramid thing, like an Aztec pyramid, so the island can like praise him, I don't know, worship him. I don't know, I just thought of it and thought it was a cool idea. Boom, and now the pyramid's done. And now the hard part is among us. We have to get the turtle on top. And he's a big boy. It's gonna be pretty hard to get him up there. So I made a big ramp for him. And after a few tries, he was finally up there on his throne, never to be moved again. The pyramid was looking a little empty, so I added some fireplaces and pillars surrounding them, just so it could have like a little light effect at the night and during the day, who knows. And it looked pretty sweet, I'm not even gonna lie. I wanted to make my house a little bigger, just like a tall room. I don't know, it was useless. My house was looking too square. So I just made a little room with staircases to go up top and play some cards or roll dice, who knows. You can do whatever you want up there. But I never went up there again, so it's another pretty useless build, but that doesn't matter because it looks cool. But with that, the island was looking pretty barren without any trees. It was looking not good. So I went away for a bit and came back, and the trees came all right. They came hard, and it looked a lot better, and I was happy with the island, and I hope y'all are too. This is a new video style for me, just building shit that I find cool, so let me know if y'all like it. But if y'all like this video, y'all will probably like a video where I harvest 1 million berries and got a world record.